This is Overtime with Chris Dewar, only on KHQA.
Well, this is Saturday, October 22nd, and you have indeed entered overtime. Welcome to the biggest Saturday of the season, at least so far, and yet it's a pale comparison to the pandemonium yet ahead. In that spirit, we have the business of Illinois pigskin playoff pairings to attend, and we'll lay out the road to Champaign for you in painstaking detail in moments, but first, we have a state champion to fet tonight. Undefeated Pleasant Hope playing victim tonight against Palmyra. State championship game from Springfield, and this is Palmyra just piling on at this time. Alexis Van Nostrand going to left field with the RBI double. That extends the lead to 4-1 then. It's Kendra Hens helping her own cause right here. Scores yet another run. Palmyra would jump out to a 6-1 lead. Hens just awesome on the hill today. She did give up this run later to Carrie Hillenberg, but it would be too little too late as Palmyra is hoisting state championship gold. Congratulations to Joe Brandenburg's crew. 13 strikeouts from Hens, and the big win today. Final count in that one was 6-2. Meanwhile, didn't have a chance to show you the setup for yesterday, so we will do so now. This was Palmyra's game against East Carter, the rally squirrel. Dead one of sorts for Palmyra working right here as Kendra Hens lines this ball out into left field. Then it's Liz Stansberry taking this one to the wall. It would score. Lexi Lawson made it 3-0 Palmyra at that point, and East Carter, much like Pleasant Hope, had no hope on this day. Kitty Hinkle cracks this one to deep right field. It's mishandled badly, and she's aboard. That would set up this solid shot to center field to plate her right there. Oh, and just more to come. The hit of the day comes courtesy of Kelsey Martin. Going to bunt this all the way to the outfield. Nice little slapper there. Oh, it was just all about Palmyra yesterday as Palmyra in the semifinals would bury East Carter. 10-0 was your final. Great weekend of softball for Palmyra as they outscore the opposition at the state level 16-2 to grab yet another state title, number 5 in the history of the program. Been there for all of them. Been fun to watch. And you can have your part tomorrow in celebrating the Palmyra Lady Panthers. They will have a homecoming at 3 o'clock at the high school gym. I hope you will join them tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We'll be there and have all the reaction coming up tomorrow night at 10 o'clock with Joe Morano. Meanwhile, Palmyra lost 2 games this season, both to eventual state champions. Troy Buchanan won the 4A title. Centralia today wins the 3A title. It's another Bailey Douglas production as she shuts down Chillicothe in the championship game today. 3-0 was your final there. Let us show you highlights from yesterday's semifinal to set this up. Ms. Bailey Douglas just awesome on the hill with that changeup and all the junk she throws. She was well supported too as Sydney Creel rocks this ball to deep left. It is gone for the solo home run, and Bailey Douglas needed little more than that yesterday as she would absolutely shut down Westminster in what turned out to be an 8-1 victory. The Clarence Cannon Conference representing with 2 state champions in Class 2 and Class 3. Doesn't get much better than that in Missouri State softball. Well, in football, it isn't always the team with the best talent that wins a state championship, but rather the best playoff draw. But before the IHSA could begin the arduous task of drawing up the 8-class 256-team playoff pairings tree, we had some Saturday on-field business to attend. Most notably here for Central Southeastern, a team flirting with the first-ever perfect season in the modern era and accompanying that high playoff seed that goes along with it. We take you today to Camp Point Central, where the Panthers about to go to work. It's Doug Weiss faking out the cameraman terribly here. Joe Morano, shame on you. But Mr. Weiss is gone. 53 yards for the score, which puts Central Southeastern up 14-7. 4th and goal coming up here for Orion. Great D by Austin Dormeyer, who's been brilliant down the stretch. Gotta love that secondary for the Panthers. Swatting away the pass to get the ball back to CSE. That would set up the human muscle, Garrett Kessner, doing what he does best. Able to break free on this score, making it 21-7 in favor of the Panthers. Final seconds, Nathan Knuffman from 49 yards. It's good. New school record, right? Unfortunately, the Orion coach got a timeout in just before, so second attempt was wide right, but still had the distance. That kid's a stud. Speaking of studs, Dalton Hubner, one of the best underclassmen in the area. He shows you why here. 33-yard scamper in for the score, putting his team up. Though Orion would come all the way back in this game, giving a great account of itself. Orion with a 7-yard touchdown pass here from Colton Schulenberg to Dylan Schultz. Good player. Mr. Schultz makes it 28 all. Time running out, 4th and 4. The fake punt direct snap is going to work out nicely right here, setting up a first down for the Panthers. Big risk for Brad Dixon. Worked out well, though. More Kessner. You can't contain the kid. He's like a tornado. You can't get your arms around him, and he is spinning in for what turns out to be the golden goal, if you will, of the football field. Central wins 35-28 with 0.3 seconds left, getting the hold right here when it needed it most to prevent Orion's comeback. Congratulations to Central, 9-0. And now they have a playoff pairing. We know who it is. Let us show you that now as the Panthers victorious will take on Athens. That game is already set up for Saturday at 1 p.m. It's a pretty good draw for Central Southeastern going in. They avoid Illini West altogether, so you don't get the repeat. Illini West going to the other side of the bracket. We'll touch on them in just a second. But your potential draws for Central, should they beat Athens, a team they know pretty well because Joey Dione, former Illini West assistant and friend of Bill Reed, coached at Athens for a while, so certainly, you know, he has some familiarity with that system. But you would get Williamsville and Carmi back-to-back, which are two teams I think Central Southeastern has a good chance of beating. So that works out nicely. Also, Illini West at 5-4. Boy, Illini West might be a problem. If you're DMAC, who's number one, 9-0 coming in, you don't like seeing the defending Class 3 state champion drop down and have to play you in Class 2, but that is the way it will work out. Obviously, Illini West has to go on the road, but don't count out Tim Lafferty's team. More for you. We found out earlier tonight that a number of our 5-4 teams in the area would be left out of the playoffs. We knew that going in with playoff points. It turned out to be the playoff points high this year. No playoffs for Quincy High School, no playoffs for Jacksonville, no playoffs for Pleasant Hill Western. All of these teams hopeful of a miracle tonight. They didn't get it in the scheduling. So all of these teams, despite good finishes, will end up sitting the playoffs out. Unfortunately, some good seasons, but just not good enough based on strength of schedule. Meanwhile for you, the big news for Quincy Notre Dame, same as it ever was. And the only prediction I got right in Doorism this week, that Quincy Notre Dame will be hosting Rochester in the first round of the playoffs. No time set yet as we know. We can tell you this, if you wonder how good Rochester's passing game is, pick up your latest copy of Sports Illustrated and read about Wes Lunt, the future Oklahoma State quarterback in it, and his outstanding wide receiver. I believe he's Zach Grant. Unbelievable passing talent. Quincy Notre Dame struggled with its passing game, or at least its pass defense early in the season. We'll see how the Raiders have reacted with yet another showdown with Derek Leonard's crew. Talk to Bill Cannell a little later this week and break it all down for you. We've also got another rematch of sorts. I only hope that Rich Thompson can find film of Jacksonville Route. Obviously, arch rivals. Somehow the IHSA has thrown them together. Route is struggling right now. They've lost 4 straight since that loss to Triopia, so not playing very well. They will be at Triopia. That game likely to be on a Friday night, but we'll get you that date secured on Monday. That is the top side of this bracket. If Triopia or Route wins, the draw's not terrible from there. The downside of this bracket, pretty darn good as well. Brown County taking on a Lewistown team that has been up and down all season long. Lost badly to Beardstown on opening night, you may remember. We hope for a Brown County win, because if we do that, we would get a WIVC North-South match, we would hope, as West Central at 7-2, as we predicted, gets to host. West Central will be playing host to Toledo Cumberland. That game should be a dandy. West Central, the hottest team in the area right now. Those two teams win. It would be Brown County versus West Central, the winner of which likely to take on Triopia in the state quarterfinal. So we could have a lot of WIVC fun still yet to be had in this postseason. Also, Class 3A, the only other teams left. Hey, deja vu, didn't we do this a couple of years ago with Kelly Sears, go to Decatur St. Teresa? Well, that's where Macomb's headed. Shades of 1998 with this Macomb team, which gets better and better, went into the playoffs, not looking great with that 6-3 record, but really ended up in the Final Four. Maybe Macomb does that again this year. They got to figure out a way to beat St. Teresa, who beat them a couple of years ago at St. Teresa. The other side of the bracket, if Macomb wins, they'll likely be playing Beardstown. Beardstown at home and playing very good football right now. They will be playing host to Georgetown coming up on probably Saturday as well. Those are all your pairings. Been a good day for football, but we are not done, not by a long shot. We'll try to keep Gem City State title soccer hopes alive here, and we'll do so. We'll check in on the last day of the regular season in volleyball in Illinois and try to bring you some of the high school football highlights that fell prey to technical issues last night, all when overtime continues.
Chris, is this the right South Shelby video? I'm going to play it real quick.
Okay. Yes.
All right, thanks.
Well done, sir. And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. It's still really early in the Odyssey, but there does exist the real chance that the Gem City could place both of its high school soccer programs on the state stage. Quincy Notre Dame entered the day closest yet, just 2 wins away from booking passage to the Corn Crib in Bloomington Normal, your new 1A title venue. Today, Quincy Notre Dame at Raymond Lincolnwood took 50 seconds to get on the board. Taylor Reese, his kick finds the cranium right there of Andrew Allen, and just like that, 1-0. We'd go 31 more minutes before Q&D would score again. This is pretty. Allen with a great setup, and the one-timer from Blake Rupp, who pounds that home, made it 2-0. And then a flourish from Quincy Notre Dame in the last couple of minutes of the first half. Off the yellow card restart, it is Luke Mayfield with that huge right foot of his, pounding home goal number 3. This, which you are about to see, is inexplicable. Looks like Andrew Allen, with 1:15 left, is going to get his second goal of the game. Clearly, this goes into the net. None of the officials saw this go in. They all thought it went past the net. They rolled the goal off. No matter, karma works to Q&D's favor. 15 seconds later, Taylor Reese with the volley from everywhere. You gotta love the soccer moms because they love Q&D. They win 5-0 to the Raiders, and for their efforts, they will be taking on in super sectional play at O'Fallon coming up on Tuesday. Columbia, who was a 3-0 victor today over a very good Breeze Mater Dei team. That is an outstanding showdown, and the winner of that will be headed off to state. So congratulations to the Raiders. Quincy High School, Edwardsville, even more dramatic tonight. This is a penalty kick shootout taking place between the two, and it would be Quincy High School going to work. Felix Bruner first with the PK. Some of these numbers tough to differentiate, so I'm going to do my best to guess at the numbers as I can see them. Can't see that one, but I can tell you the next one is number 4, Alan Seek, who's going to pound one home. Make matters short. Quincy High hit on all 5 of their PKs. We'll show you Dylan Hosher about to knock this one in, and then the clincher as Logan Kelly got the one save he would need. You're about to see the game winner, courtesy of our friends at iHigh. This is Blake Herman with your game winner. The Blue Devils playing without Matt Longo, who's attending his daughter's wedding tonight. Eric Stratman and the crew bring home a win. Nevertheless, you see it there. Quincy High School a winner in PKs after the game was tied 2-all. 5-4 in PKs. The Blue Devils heading off to the sectional. Talk more about that coming up next week as well. The bad news from Friday, didn't get a chance to tell you, but Jacksonville's season comes to an end in the regional final against Glenwood. That means Steve West's outstanding coaching career at Jacksonville has come to an end as well. He is retiring. We've got cross-country scores to pass along from the Macomb Regional. Congratulations to Karen Paisley, I should say, and the Macomb Bombers. The Macomb Bombers girls as a team take second place. Karen Paisley is your medalist. Others advancing include Lauren White of Illini West and Blake McWhorter of Rushville Industry. I think we spelled that wrong. I think there's an E at the end of that. Sorry, Blake. Also on the boys' side, Macomb boys finished second. Your advancers include Lance Curtis, finishing third from Bushnell Prairie City Avon. We've got volleyball for you today. Quincy High School trying to put the finishing touches on a Western Big Six title. This, my friends, is Alex Dietrich making her presence felt, trying to jumpstart a very cold Blue Devil team in the early going with that. Then it's Lexi Freeze serving for ace right here. Good stuff to come as well. Brooke Agard's serve not going to be handled particularly well in this case. Again, Quincy High still not great at this point in the match, but there's Michaela Llewellyn to tamp that down. Then Monica Bumbry would come to life, and come to life in a major way. The next two hits you're going to see are massive from Miss Bumbry. That's really good. The next one is going to get better. They're going to get progressively better here tonight, because I'm going to show you 4 in a row. This one, though, that you're about to see next is particularly noteworthy. The result you will not see firsthand. You will have to see secondhand. Miss Bumbry's smile will tell it all. The offending member of the other team of East Moline took it right off the nose. We've got someone wearing the crimson mask tonight. That was vicious. Obviously, Miss Bumbry wasn't feeling any sympathy. Her next hit even harder right there. Tell you what, Quincy High School just on a roll at that point. We're going to show you the point of the year. Much of this courtesy of Abby Foster, who's going to come up with 2 excellent digs back to back, and then Brooke Agard will leave you with this. With Quincy High just amazing to keep this ball dug up at every turn. Look at this. Finally getting the point in as Lexi Freeze taps that down. Quincy High School wins in straight sets over East Moline and takes your Western Big 6 conference title. Let us take you to the county market tournament today, where we're about to check in early on with Quincy Notre Dame right there going to work, as it's Kate Gedenbacher throwing down nicely for her team. Then Maria Welding, good play at the net, puts this right back over as Modern Day ends up being a very good team. They would end up beating Quincy Notre Dame on the day in this one, but Kristen Gedenbacher trying to make herself felt and her presence felt by setting up Gracie Barnes nicely for that one. Not enough, though. Quincy Notre Dame loses this match 2-0. We've got more for you now. No, let's stick with those highlights if we can, just for a second, Jeremy. What else have we got coming your way? Well, we got more Notre Dame coming your way as well. Miss Gedenbacher right there with the defense to pick it up. As I mentioned, though, Modern Day too powerful for this one. Rich Meyer thinks they'll win the state, he told Joe Morano today. We've got more coming for you coming up next in this one. We've got highlights from West Prairie. Tori Levitt with a soft tap over the defense. West Prairie taking on Howell Central in this one. Then it's Hannah Messick setting up Haley Calvert, who's going to come in nicely and convert at this point. More to come from that outstanding West Prairie squad. Terry Paul's team always sound. Jen Schwerer right there knocks in the ace. That's going to be good for her team. West Prairie with a big lead in this one. Adding to it as Taylor Harper knocks this down as well. Good stuff from West Prairie today, as they were winners as well. We're not going to show you Unity highlights, but they had a pretty darn good day as well. Seth Klusmeyer's team, we have some highlights we shot, but we're just out of time, unfortunately. Sorry to the Unity Mustangs, but congratulations to Seth Klusmeyer, who last night picked up career win number 300. Oh, I'll show you some anyway. The heck with time. Who cares what's next? We've got right there, good stuff from Ashley Brooks serving up the ace, and then more to come right here. Brooklyn Moore to Taylor Blickian. All sorts of good stuff from Unity that wins. And again, Seth Klusmeyer with his 300th victory last night. Good stuff there as well. More to come your way right now. Let's do some non-playoff football scores from today. And a volleyball score. Hannibal knocks out Marshall today to finish off the regular season with another nice win. Mendota, too much for West Hancock on the football docket, 66-39. Also tonight, Pittsfield-Grigsville Perry ends its season with back-to-back wins, beating Princeton 50-21. Highlights we didn't get to show you last night from football. Monroe City, Clark County, these just disappeared into the computer. Sometimes we don't ask why, we just abide by whatever the computer does. Last night, we suffered. How about Monroe City getting Blake Grice kind of established early in this game with a 40-yard run that would set up a Blake Rogers 1-yard touchdown, put up Monroe City 7-0 at that point. Back would come our good friends from Clark County in this game. It's going to start off with some defense. Matt Loader with the first of 2 interceptions right here. That's a big pickup, and that would set up Seth Williams, who had himself a really nice night running the football. I think he had 173 yards rushing and 138 yards passing. I might have reversed that, but big night nonetheless. Over 300 yards of total offense. Seth Williams with a touchdown rumble of his own right here. Bryce Budrew good as well. He'd have a touchdown run. Also have this big quarterback sack as Clark County gets the win and takes controlling interest of that district by the final count of 26-7. On the other side of the bracket, Palmyra knocks up Highland 7-6. Next week's Palmyra-Monroe City game, likely a do or die for those who want to make the playoffs. We mentioned Macon last night, good. They took out Brookfield. It was all about the Macon defense. How about Dylan Perrin right here, getting a nice swat right here. The quarterback can play everywhere for his team. Good stuff, near interception there. How about a big game for Joseph Flowers last night? Love this kid, doesn't get near enough credit. Great catch right here, all about Macon in this game, as Macon wins in a blowout last night, 35-0. On the other side of the bracket to set up the big showdown this week, the chair game, it was Centralia destroying Hallsville behind, who else? Dax Dollins, your player of the year candidate. Dollins with 184 yards rushing. Big pickup right there. That would set at the table for this pass. Dolan's also 8 of 11 passing for 236. This one to Alex Ford. Actually, this one to his brother Dixon Dollins for the touchdown. This one for 68 yards to Alex Ford. 43-6 last night, your final in favor of Centralia. Centralia making 1 and 4 in the state, going head-to-head coming up this week on Thursday. One more for you. South Shelby really good last night against Van Far. How about David Haithman right here with the pass to Andrew Delana? That would set up another Haithman passes. Mr. Haithman's kind of found his rhythm, I should say, passing the football. This one to Wes Mefford for a touchdown. All South Shelby all the time in this ball game. Van Far kind of victimized by some of its own miscues. This time Andrew Stewart's going to punt this ball off his up back, off his shoulder. Wes Mefford's going to pick it up and rumble 21 yards with the return at this point, which would set up a big night from Austin Hall. Sorry, Austin Hall, I think I called you somebody else last night because I couldn't see your number. I can see it now, and that's clearly you with the 3-yard touchdown right there. Good stuff from him. Good night for our good friends from South Shelby as they get the big win and take controlling interest in that district. 19-0 is your final. When we come back, we'll talk all about college football and a big day all the way around. Western Illinois trying to keep its season alive, at least as far as playoff berth, and another big win for Illinois College. Winless Missouri State tonight in Macomb. A loss for Western Illinois would be disastrous in terms of playoff berth. Right here, Western Illinois now trailing 14-7 thanks to this touchdown pass. Josh Hudson trying to rally the troops. A couple of pretty passes at the end of the first half, which would end up eventually setting up a Patrick Smith field goal, which made it 14-10. Unfortunately for Western Illinois, they really couldn't get the plays they needed down the stretch. And winless Missouri State comes in and beats Western tonight 31-17, which all but eliminates Western Illinois from playoff contention for the rest of the season. We do have some good college news. Illinois College College improves to 7-1 on the season. I believe that's the school's best start since the 1980s. They knock off Ripon in a thriller today, 34-33. Jake Klingel, the pride of Central Southeastern, caught a 1-yard touchdown pass. I believe it's his first of his collegiate career. Michael Bates, good yet again today. Illinois College, the story of the season as far as local college football is going. Culver Stockton gets buried today by Baker on the road, 71-21. The news not good for Truman State either, losing to Missouri Western. The only bit of good news in regional college football, James Vandenberg, a new career best 4 touchdown passes today, including a marvelous day from Marvin McNutt, record-setting day where he had 3 touchdown receptions and 180-plus yards in the first half. Iowa beats Indiana 45-24. The news bad for Illinois, which gets upset by Purdue today. 21-14 is your final there. Also, Mizzou knocked off by Oklahoma State in a game that was just flat ugly. 45-24 was your final there. A couple of college soccer scores to pass along. Day not good for Culver Stockton on either front against Avila. Women lose 3-0. The men end up losing 4-0 as well.